Today I'm doing quite a serious video over which popular military shooter to buy, Call of Duty Ghosts or Battlefield 4. Let's begin. The pros of Call of Duty Ghosts is that it's got fast, addictive online. This is because it's quick to level up, and it is quite rewarding each time you level up. There's there's reasonable crew and character customization, which allows you to separate yourself from the crowd, and actually make a crew, get into leagues and things and stuff like that. Also, there's an extensive gun and attachment collection that is built up over the years, which Battlefield 4 doesn't have, as it's a newish series. So that gives us a total of 3 pros. Cons. It has quite outdated graphics because it uses the same engine with a couple tweaks in each game. It's not an online-dependent game because as you see in this point, they've completely abandoned story mode pretty much. It relies on assets from past games because is taken them from past games, and that kind of links to outdated graphics. It has community problems because a lot of young people on there who all get quite frustrated at loss and such. And it has terrible level and map design, as this allows for a lot of camping, and obviously that can be quite annoying. And there's lots of tight spaces which make it a lot worse, and which links into my reaction space. Because of these tight spaces, most of the online matches mean it's just whoever pulls the trigger first. It's not specifically whoever has planned the better assault. And my last point is that there's very buggy AI, which can be very bad for story mode and indeed kill streaks and things like that. There's a couple of points I didn't put on here because they wouldn't fit. The extinction mode is a complete rehash of the zombies mode, and I believe it's for the worse, as it has monotonous gameplay, and it overall doesn't really add anything to the game, just shooting badly thought out aliens. Then there's the PC port, which I didn't put in because it didn't affect a lot of you, but it's a terrible PC port. It doesn't really the company have openly said that they don't really care about PC games because they believe consoles will get them more money. Alright, now we'll move on to Battlefield 4 and its pros. Firstly, it has a tactical and strategic immersion. This is because it has the ability to create convoys with a vast vehicle involvement. As you can see here, the tanks, the cars. This is amazing because you can have aircraft hovering overhead to scan for the enemy team. You can have tanks covering your trucks, and your trucks to store your infantry. You've got destructible environments, which adds a lot to the game, as campers have been removed by this, since you can just destroy the building they're hiding in with a weapon. It has optimal animation quality. I say this because you can actually see your arms. It's a lot of actual animations rather than Call of Duty Ghosts. It has unit diversity, which means it's if you've got a rocket launcher, you can't be charging into battle doing whatever you want. You've got to stick with your team, which leads on to team-based coordination. You need an entire team, all with different types of units, to progress in the battle. It's visually stunning, or at least compared to Call of Duty Ghosts, which uses the same textures as every game. And there's actually new textures each game. Call of Duty Ghosts, I guess, didn't think of that. Skillful gameplay, unlike the reactions. This also adds to team-based coordination. You can't just run in there as a lone gunner. You've got to think out your plans, and you've got to set up anyway, an impressive player count, because you can have 64 players on the map, and this isn't a problem because of the excellent level design. These are large maps, each with many buildings, and so it's not a problem finding anyone. and it's also not it feels like an actual war. Now, Battlefield 4 cons. As unfortunately, as lackluster customization, you can't really change your character much, which is a shame. There's a terrible story, just like Call of Duty, and but they didn't really focus on that in any of the games, and that's very unfortunate. Then there's the lack of reward. When you get killed, well, there isn't kill streaks or anything. The leveling up isn't very justly done, so you don't feel like you're making much progress, which is a very bad thing. So that's a total of 3 bad points. And now, finally, we see that Battlefield 4 has won. This is because they have many more good points, much less bad points. Call of Duty Ghosts is pretty much a rehash of every other game, with some aspects probably worse than the other games, and overall it just doesn't compare to Battlefield 4, which is actually is quite a good game, really. Call of Duty Ghosts it is just for, like, from what I've seen of the community, the main people who play it are 12-year-olds who oh, let's do some trick shots, let's go on Call of Duty. And it's not very, it is not for someone who, it's not for a sentient gamer who thinks about his games. It's for the person who wants the quick, fast games and the leveling up and 10-minute matches. It's not